Have you ever been told that setting boundaries is what pushes people away, that if you really want love after 60 to last, you should be more understanding, more patient, and less demanding? Many women believe that the fewer boundaries they have, the stronger their relationship will become. I believe the opposite. The right boundaries don't destroy love, they reveal whether it's strong enough to last. After 60, you've already learned that love alone cannot protect your peace, your independence, or your sense of self. Yet so many women still feel guilty for saying no, speaking up, or slowing things down because they're afraid healthy boundaries will make them seem difficult. They won't, in my experience. The happiest and most secure relationships are not built by women who never set boundaries. They are built by women who know exactly which boundaries they will never cross, no matter how deeply they care. The right man won't love you less because you have boundaries. He'll trust you more because you respect yourself enough to have them. They aren't walls that keep love out. They're the foundation that helps the right love stay. Don't shrink your opinions to keep the peace. There is a sentence I have heard many women our age say, and it almost always sounds gentle. Whatever you think is best, on the surface it sounds loving, mature, and easy. But sometimes it hides something very different. Not agreement, but silence. I've come to believe there is a quiet difference between choosing peace and surrendering your voice. They are not the same thing, even though they often wear the same smile. Think about the biggest decisions that arrive after 60, selling the family home, moving closer to adult children, using retirement savings, or helping grandchildren financially. These are not little preferences about where to eat dinner. They shape the years you still have ahead of you. Yet many women tell themselves, why start an argument now? Or, he's always handled these things. Or simply, it's easier if I don't make this complicated. That sounds like wisdom. Sometimes it is actually fear wearing the clothes of wisdom. Fear of being called difficult. Fear of looking demanding at an age when women are often praised for being agreeable instead of honest. I don't think protecting harmony is worth the price of disappearing from decisions that define your own life. So let me ask you something only you can answer. When was the last time you said whatever you think, while quietly wishing the decision had gone another way? If a memory appears immediately, don't push it away. Sit with it for a moment. That memory knows something your polite words try to hide. Having an opinion does not create distance in a healthy marriage. Pretending you have no opinion often does. When only one voice keeps making the important choices, the balance slowly changes, even if nobody says it aloud. You don't need to win every disagreement. You do need to remain visible inside your own life. A peaceful home should never require a silent heart. Your money stays your decision. A few years ago, I read something from Arab that stayed with me long after I closed the page. They pointed out that financial exploitation is one of the most common forms of abuse, affecting older adults, and in many cases, the person involved is not a stranger but someone the victim knows and trusts. That stopped me for a moment because it reminded me that the greatest financial risks later in life do not always arrive looking like danger. Sometimes they arrive looking like love. At our age, money is no longer just money. It is your retirement security, your independence, the freedom to choose where you live and how you spend your days, and the legacy you may one day leave to your children or grandchildren. Every dollar represents years of work, sacrifice, and decisions that brought you to this stage of life. That is why I never believe love should determine the speed of financial decisions. Opening a joint bank account, adding someone's name to your home, co-signing a loan, or lending a large amount of money because saying no feels uncomfortable may all seem like generous acts in the moment, but none of them prove love. They simply carry consequences that can outlast the emotions you feel today. ARP also reminds older adults that financial exploitation often happens gradually through trust rather than force, which is exactly why healthy financial boundaries matter. They give you the time to think clearly before making decisions that cannot easily be undone. Over the years I have spoken with women who later wished they had waited, not because they stopped loving the person, but because they realized they had rushed financial decisions that deserved much more time. Their regret was rarely about being generous. It was about moving faster than their own peace of mind. I don't see caution as fear. I see it as respect for the woman you have spent 60 years becoming. If someone truly loves you, they will never measure your commitment by how quickly you merge your finances. A relationship built on trust can survive separate bank accounts because genuine love is never threatened by patience. So take your time, read every document carefully, ask every uncomfortable question, and sleep on every major decision before saying yes. The money is yours because the life that earned it is yours, and never let affection outrun wisdom. Don't let his past relationship define your present one. One of the quiet realities of finding love after 60 is that very few people arrive with an empty history. By this stage of life, many men have loved deeply before. Some have been divorced. Some have buried the woman they expected to grow old with. That history deserves compassion, but it should never become the measure of your place in the relationship. I have lost count of how many women have quietly told me they began to feel as though they were living inside someone else's story. It often starts with innocent-sounding comments. My wife used to cook it this way. My ex always handled the holidays. She never minded when I did that. None of those sentences may be intended to hurt you, but over time they can leave you feeling as though you are constantly standing beside a woman you have never met. Then something subtle begins to happen. You start changing yourself without even noticing. You try to be more patient because she was patient. You avoid speaking up because you do not want to sound different from her. You feel responsible for healing disappointments that existed long before you arrived. You quietly believe that if you love him well enough, you can erase the pain someone else left behind. I don't believe that is love. I believe it is a burden you were never meant to carry. Every healthy relationship begins with two people, not three. His memories belong to his life, and they deserve respect, but they are not the standard you are expected to live up to. You are not competing with his former wife. You are not competing with his late wife. In truth, you are competing with no one at all. Let me ask you something that may be uncomfortable. Have you started trying to win against a woman who is no longer part of this relationship? If that question stings, please don't judge yourself. Many kind women slowly drift into that role because they mistake compassion for responsibility. The two are not the same. You can listen to his memories without living inside them. You can respect his past without surrendering your present. The right man will not ask you to replace another woman. He will make room to know the one standing in front of him today. You deserve to be chosen, not compared. As we come to the end of this conversation, I hope you leave with one simple truth in your heart. Setting healthy boundaries has never been about pushing love away. It has always been about protecting the life, the wisdom, and the self-respect you spent decades building. By the time we reach this season of life, we have all experienced enough joy, disappointment, loss, and new beginnings to understand that love should bring peace, not pressure. It should make you feel more like yourself, not less. It should give you the freedom to speak honestly, to move at a pace that feels right, and to know that your worth is never measured by how much you sacrifice to keep someone else comfortable. If there is one thing I hope you remember after watching this video, it is that protecting your heart does not make you difficult, and protecting your independence does not make you selfish. It simply means you have learned that lasting love should never cost you your identity. The best relationships don't change who you are. They give you the freedom to become even more of yourself.